Hello guys, DC podcast is here, episode 7, where we will discover the risk management tools that we have on the market. Today we will start with 3 risk management tools: Dealio or Dealio, whoever says suits better, AIBI and BrokerPilot. Thanks to the teams, those tools for providing us the demo accesses. And today I'm accompanied by the team of Yourfintech dealing department, represented by Mauro Masacco, is Chief Revenue Officer, and we have Alexei from the dealing department, Alexei Badyanov, and Lefteris Serafim, that both guys are joining us from remote locations. So, guys, welcome to the episode. It's an experimental one that we'll be recording semi-offline, semi-online, and as well we will be sharing the screen in order to show you some features of the tools. Let me brief you through the sections of the episode. So we will have 3 big sections. First one is we will talk to the guys about what is necessary for the dealers and like what kind of problems do they have and what we need from the risk management tool. Then we will definitely define the criteria that we will be comparing the tools with, and we will go and review each one separately according to our criteria. And we will finalize everything by the open discussion, defining the best tool or the best tool that covers the specific features. We will see how long dealers have basically as a career, as a lifespan under the threat of the AI, and if AI is threatening in general to the fellow dealers like us. So let's get it going. And I would say that part 1. Let's start, guys. I will be doing some moderation here. We try to follow the timing. Part 1: what problems do we have as a dealers, guys? And let's allocate like 5 to 10 minutes to discuss and to identify the biggest problems that we have and that we face in the risk management departments. So, Mauro, or guys, the floor is yours. Please, let's
start for what is the most important for each dealer, that each dealing desk need to monitor the quality of the flow and the risk coming from this kind of flow. Now, it's always a little bit complicated to identify this kind of problem, because you have massive information through the platform and not always are clear to you what you can see and what the client are doing, because through the mass, you just have the total information, not into details. This is one of the biggest problems to analyze the flow of the trades that the company is receiving. Also, Alexei, do you want to add anything else?
Yeah. Obviously, this is one of the most important problems we face on a daily basis, but also it's not only about identifying the toxic flow. Sometimes you just need to get proper information collected in one place to make more informed decisions, for example, on moving some clients to A book, maybe moving them to B book, or maybe work on C book model. So when you just see the single trades of any clients without any context, you are almost blind.
Okay, so you mean that in general there is not enough of information in the standard tools in order to take the decision. What kind of info, if we can name 1 or 2 main things?
Of course, first of all, we need to see the whole performance of the single client if we are talking about determining about how to work with this client. So we need to have in one place to see his trading history for this account, for his other accounts. We need to see not only the history, but the performance, what he trades, when he trades. So all this together makes our decision-making process much, much smarter. And you cannot take this just directly from MetaTrader and enjoy this information.
All right. In general, I agree with that. We are missing a lot of, for example, floating data and equity change, for example, data and in MetaTrader and in other general platforms. All right, so we have two actually: identification of the toxic flow, then lack of information on the standard platforms.
I just wanted to add that lack of information, it's not only about the performance of the client inside the broker. It's also the part which is we can say hidden from our eyes. It's on the LP side, so we should also have the full picture of what happens after we book the client, how the LP performs, how the client performs. Is this process as we expected? Maybe we are missing something, and this makes the whole decision wrong if something goes in unexpected way.
And not only, Alexei, because as we face several times, was a problem with the liquidity provider side that we don't know at the moment we are executing order, which is the real spread, slippage, the depth of the market. So we have limited information about the picture of the exposure that we can send and outsource to a different LP. And this one, what happened after? You need to create a file where you collect all this information, copy and paste in order to analyze the lifespan of the trade and the execution and everything. And every time you do a copy and paste, you increase the number of error, the human error that we face. And after it's difficult to spot this kind of error, because when you copy and paste, you miss maybe one cell and all the numbers are completely wrong. You base yourself on numbers that are not reflecting the reality.
I believe that's one of the biggest issues that actually comes out of nowhere. Because like we build a lot of semi-automation reports that are based on copy-paste mechanics, and then eventually a minor change may ruin the whole reporting. We faced it a million times, I believe. Yeah, that's a good point. All right, so we have the lack of liquidity side, let's say, information. We have also human factor error, let's say exposure to the human factor error. What else? Is there anything you would like to?
Yeah, I would like to say something here.
Please.
Yeah, I would like to add that as a dealer, if you have to deal with multiple brokers or companies, then it's difficult to keep track, because nowadays, especially, each company uses their own system and their own risk monitoring if they have. So as a dealer, you have to be able to adapt to that tool. You have to differentiate how they function between them. And so you have to learn multiple tools in order to be more familiar and be faster, especially with the user interface. Because, for instance, in one tool, I can find in the main dashboard, I can see the equity and the top winners, and the other dashboard, I can find different metrics. So I have to go and dig a bit into the interface. So you have to be familiar. So in a way, if we are able to create a risk monitoring tool that it's more user-friendly in a way that a dealer is not necessary for him to go and learn all of them, nice, would be nice. It's hard, but...
That's a good point. It's more related to the companies that is managing risk for different brokers. But even for the same broker, they have a lot of cases and situations when you have several different trading servers, let's say CTrader and MetaTrader or some other, and they have different ways of reflecting the stuff, reporting and database structure. And eventually, even within one brokerage, you may have a lot of data inconsistencies, and all the data actually is scattered across different systems. AIBI commissions are in one system, the client's balances are in the other system, and basically, okay, yeah, that's one of the point as well, is kind of maybe data reflection inconsistency or something like that.
Yeah. This one is also a good point about when we want to analyze the past event and we want to cross the information between the platform and understand if a cluster of clients take a trade or they were connected somehow. If you are not able to aggregate all this information together and you need to copy and paste again on an Excel file in order to extract the information, it's really complicated. So yes, bigger is the company, more platform is using, more different bridge or tools is using, more is important to have a unified system that is able to gather all the information, and in one place you get everything you need.
Excellent.
Yeah. And also, actually, this point requires a lot of discipline from the dealing department, from the trading platform administration, and even account managers, because there are a lot of situations we see that actually, you have actually created a good framework where everything is mostly automated, but in fact, someone will come and create a new group or a new test account and will not flag it, let's say, as test account, and this will ruin the whole reporting again, right?
Absolutely.
So another point here is basically the discipline and the kind of very strict follow of the rules, basically, of working with the data, let's say. All right, let's define the what we want risk management tool to answer to us as dealers. Like, what do we want to monitor? What do we want to have in those tools? And let's define 5 or 6 criteria in order to compare the tools that we have today.
But look, I think all my colleagues can agree with me that the most important part is the exposure and P&L monitoring, because this one is telling you the exact situation of the broker, of the company, and help you to take real action. Now, one of the main problem of the dealer is to analyze the real exposure. I will make a stupid example. Multiple brokers are using a different suffix for the same instrument. So you don't really know which is your real exposure in your USD, because you have U.X.I. So this one is a super big issue for the dealer in order to understand where they stand. So this one, I think, is one of the main point for a dealer in order to monitor what is going on in the company.
Agree. So the exposure and P&L monitoring. But let's also break down a little bit. Exposure, we are clear about this point, but P&L. I know that a lot of companies are actually following the close P&L metrics without paying much attention to the floating, to the difference of the floating P&L. I just would like to reiterate this. And we can move on. All right, so the exposure and P&L monitoring, number 1.
Do you want me to comment about the close P&L?
Of course.
There is this misconception about the close P&L that is the money that the company made. This is partially true, because in reality, the money that the company should think that, what if I close all the position in this specific moment? So in this specific moment, they close the position. What is really matter is the floating P&L. Additionally, the closing P&L is coming from even 1 year. So if I calculate the close P&L today, it doesn't reflect what is really going on. So you need to calculate the delta between the close P&L and the delta between the floating P&L in order to have an idea of your P&L. And a lot of companies, unfortunately, they are still thinking that the close P&L is the real money they made. They realize too late when they're already sorting bankrupt. That was the wrong calculation.
That's what we bring into the masses again. Absolutely valid point. So not only closed P&L, but floating delta and the equity change, of course, excluding the balance operations and stuff. So this is very important to follow. Okay, what else, guys?
Of course, don't forget also, so just last point, don't forget the cumulative exposure. It's important to have per currency pair and also for per currency.
Yeah.
Because some like two completely different things, more or less are the same, because it's important to know not only which instrument the client is trading, but which currency they are more exposed. And this one can give you some room to decide which kind of action you want to take to cover your risk or mitigate your risk.
Good point, by the way, yeah. It's like, so not only exposure by currency pair or actually instrument, but also to the currency, because we are dealing with a lot of Forex still. Alex, please.
Yeah, I wanted to continue with it. And the second thing which comes into my mind is to constantly and live monitoring of client trading flow and the categorization of these clients, because you know that one single client is never similar to another client, because they could use completely different trading strategies, and you need to see who is doing, when he is doing, and why. So we need to track high frequency traders. We need to track scalpers or potential latency arbitrage abusers. we need to find clusters of client accounts, which from the first sight, they look like normal clients who just came to trade. But when you dig deeper, you see that this is an organized group, probably led by some professional traders who do an abuse of any kind, which is not usual. For example, they can, with normal trades in any specific moments of time, and just by your eyes, you will not spot this. You need you need some picture of categorization, and it will help you to provide from one side better service for clients, and from other side it will be much safer for you as a broker.
In order to summarize, am I right that you want to have kind of pre-categorization of the flow of the clients of your basically book into different categories? Like for me, let's say I have retail and non-retail behavior. You went a little bit further up and actually you broke them to the different categories of, let's say, non-retail behaviors.
Yeah, and when we know what the client does, we already have the piece of puzzle how to deal with this client, what expect from this client, and all these things.
Mm-hmm. Agree. Okay, that's kind of luxury feature in general, I believe. I'm not sure how.
It's quite fantastic also because the point is, you are totally right when you speak about the categorization about retail or professional. But if you want to improve your revenue, you need also to understand deeper what the client are doing in order to optimize your strategy and improve your revenue. If you just categorize like retail and professional, you remain static at one point. So the broker will never grow. In this way, you can customize the strategy in order to be as much profitable as you can as a broker and optimize every situation. So profiling also the behavior of the client is a big plus for the dealer to understand and to know which action they need to take in order to optimize the book and make the client happy.
Agree. That's of course out of the question. I just would like to see how, in fact, the tools, not only these three tools, but in general, how they are doing it. It would be really interesting to see at least the accuracy of those categorization. All right, this is clear and I agree with this one. So we have exposure and P&L monitoring and client categorization. What else, guys? We have anything else?
Absolutely. Now, it's important also to have a tool that is able to analyze our book and create a benchmark of our performance in order to compare to our benchmark the profiling,
yeah.
the profiling that we made. Because now it's important to see the total book, how much is performing. The client in a B book, how much are performing. The client in a book, how much. And after you are placing, most of the broker, they have the license as market maker, so they can place on Dealio on account some trades. And it's important to see how all those grouping are performing compared to the benchmark the company set.
Okay, again, kind of luxury stuff, but hopefully these guys are covering that feature. Okay, so kind of benchmarking of the book strategies that we have. Am I right?
Absolutely, yes. But not only, because creating the benchmark by definition is something that is tell you where you need to arrive. Knowing, just starting from the basic, knowing how much my book is performing. This is already a benchmark. So knowing how much my clients are performing already tell me where I need to go. After, this is my first benchmark. After, I profile my client and divide in retail, professional, abuser, not abuser, and I have A book and B book. In this moment, this one is another additional benchmark because now both of them, my A book cannot underperform because I'm putting clients that in theory are profitable and is a risk for my book. So those clients should be profitable and my book should not be negative. So my benchmark is to overperform. B book should be client that are retail with the strategy that usually are not good. You can be book, you can give a different kind of execution because our clients that are not chasing latency or doing any kind of strategy, they want to scam the broker. They want to take advantage from the broker. So put there, you give it this kind of execution, but overall they're underperforming, they're losing money. So this book should be negative, the other book should be positive. My benchmark is total company. So if I overperform the total book, I'm doing a good job.
All right. Sounds good. What else, guys? We have 3 criteria now.
Yeah, and as we mentioned, a book performance. Of course, we need to be safe from the LP side. We need to be sure that it works as expected. So we need to track its performance, its execution, because moving the client to a book is not just we moved it to a book, say goodbye to him, and just see how much profits he make. We also should care about the execution, slippage, spreads on the LP side. So all this stuff should be monitored consistently and in live mode.
Agree.
Because also it could lead finally to us. We will lose money on a book.
Yeah, that's clear. So basically, we want the tool not to be only connected to the platform, but also to the bridge, and in fact, to be showing us not only half of the data, especially if we combine different business models. We should have also the other side of the picture, let's say, clear.
Absolutely. Look, those information you can gather directly from the bridge. But the problem is, on the bridge, you see only one piece of the cake. You don't see the full cake. Having everything in one risk tool where you have what is going on in the LP and what is going on in your platform, it can give you the idea exactly what is the life cycle of the trade and what the LP is performing, having the statistic and everything. So you can optimize the flow to make the client happier also. You more profitable and the client with better execution. And it's a win-win situation.
Agree. Good point. Okay. What else? Like, do we have...
The last part that we put as last but not least is system monitoring, because you can have a lot of technical issue. Can be the feed, can be a disconnection, can be everything. And if you don't have a tool that is able to monitor and provide a real-time alert, you may realize that there is a problem when the client contacts you, but it's too late.
You are referring to the technical monitoring or also some other alerts like P&L alerts and stuff?
This one is different. I mean, of course, we need the P&L, we need all this kind of information, but from a tool, I'm expecting also that is able to inform the dealer in real time that there is a technical issue before this problem is bring to me from the client, from the customer support.
Okay, clear. So quote stock monitoring, let's say, right?
Absolutely.
Number 1. Anything else?
Also about the spreads, I believe. If your spreads are abnormal, so again, you have to be able to be one step ahead, basically.
Because if we are analyzing the feed from different LP, we can see also if the feed suddenly became too slow. So, and you know the potentially client can abuse this flow.
But this one is a bit tricky to identify the slow feed, I believe, though. It's like my personal opinion. I don't know if they do it.
We're speaking about a dream.
Yeah, exactly. I agree. It's just in general, it's kind of a little bit hard. All right. And also the last one, I believe what I would add is customizability of the dashboards and the tools that you have there, right? It's like everybody has their own approaches. And I would add that if you can create your own dashboards, create your own reporting, like, for example, we can do in Power BI, it's kind of plus as well.
Absolutely, yes. But nowadays, I have to admit that most of the tools that are providing widget that you can customize. Okay, the widgets are predefined, but at least you can create a page that show what you need. So you're looking for one information first, you will put it. And this is already a big plus because you can redirect to the taste or the needs of each person and each department.
Let's define the criteria that we are going to use for comparison. First, the dashboard with live P&L, with exposure, right? Then the client profiling, the trading flow profiling. Then it will be a dashboard, customization of dashboards. Then the history report analysis, basically everything what is available in terms of historical data revision, let's say. And some other usability features that we would consider as a big advantage.
That are not essential, but they can be life-changing.
Absolutely. Or like heavily easing the work or even human factor error that we have mentioned before.
Absolutely. It's super important, the markout, because this one is telling you what is happening in the trade once the client placed the order. Now, one of the biggest issues that the dealer are facing that we have one part of the execution on the trading platform, and the other part is on the bridge side. So you need to gather the information and understand what happened. Now, the life cycle is from when the client placed the order, because most of the time they're placing limit or stop orders. After there is the execution, after it's going to the bridge is verifying the price and everything and sending back. So it's important to have all those information in only one place in order to analyze what happened to the trade. Of course, tick by tick, see the markout. The markout is one of the key, at the moment, is one of the key parameters that is telling you what's going on with this trade.
All right, agree. Absolutely agree. So live P&L, right? Client behavior profiling, then book strategies, benchmarking and assessment, then trade life. Okay, we call it in our way, in our fashion. So if anyone has kinda comments later on, please feel free to ask. Trade life cycle tracking, which includes whatever is related to the trade and execution of the trade, including A book, B book, including markout, and actually including the life cycle of the trade from opening to closing. And what else? Book reconciliation.
Another point is the book reconciliation, that is quite important in order to don't mismatch any position, because now you can have a position open in client side and for any kind of reason you don't have this position in your LP. So you need to be able to reconcile the book immediately. And as we were discussing before, it's quite complicated when you have multiple platform and multiple instruments with different suffix. That now, if you need to make the calculation super quick, you cannot. The market is moving, you're already missing what is the exposure. So you need to have a system that is able to reconcile the book and tell you there is a mismatch.
Agree. Okay, so we have 5 different criteria. I'm sure we will have it maybe somehow on the screen, so for the people to see. And I believe we are good to start actually the main part of the podcast, which is kind of review of the platforms itself. And just would like to remind you guys that we go by criteria. We'll get one criteria, and we will go and review whatever each tool has to offer based on these criteria. So guys, please, whoever would like to start with the first one, we have live P&L and exposure dashboards, which is the most kind of basic stuff. You would like to review?
Yeah,
I would like to add only something.
Please.
Now, what we have access to is a platform that is not full with all the potential. It's just for demo, for demonstration, and for the sake of the podcast. So there are some features that maybe we will not display. So sorry about that. But we analyze as much as we can. We also spoke directly with who on the platform to have better understanding. So maybe some feature we cannot see, but we are mentioned because we know are there.
Absolutely. Definitely, guys. We'll join disclaimer of Mauro. We are not the last resort to judge the platforms. We will share our opinion up to what we have access so far. And definitely some of the tools, they have more functionality or something that we didn't disclose. So let's start with the first one. With the first point, which is dashboard, right? And let's take it from there.
So let's look what do these tools offer us in terms of live P&L and exposure dashboards and monitoring. Let's start from BrokerPilot, and you may see that they have separate dashboards. Tap in their menu, and you can use some preset dashboards, or you can create your own. Let's go simple way and see what is shown by default. You may see that the interface is quite clear and beautiful, and it allows you to track a lot of indicators, P&L by symbols, current exposure by symbols. We can see the status of our hedging accounts or order book. We can see actually a lot of widgets here, and we can add even more. So I believe We have here everything which is related to exposure and P&L tracking. You can also customize each table and do it like you want to see it. Also, there are separate menus for example, for exposure. Let me show it. It is here. You can find more detailed information, and it is gathered across all the servers. BrokerPilot allows you to connect a lot of servers and operate their information in one single place. So we can even turn this and turn off to see the dealer side or client side data. Also, what is related to live P&L exposure, there are a lot of tools which allow you to track this, and also you can, for example, as I already mentioned, create something like customized, which fulfills your needs. For example, total P&L and winners. You just take some preset parameters and you see more information here of what you have chosen. So I think.
But I have a question, Alex. Sorry.
Sorry, could you repeat, please?
Yeah, I have a question here. So the main dashboard, I remember it had also the like current session P&L retrospective, let's say. Do we still have it somewhere? Was interesting, this screen.
Current session P&L?
I mean, it was like
we have this one.
Yeah, this chart. This is what I actually liked.
Yeah, and you can.
No, not this. The previous one, the retrospective P&L. This one actually. This is the session P&L. So what I like about it, it gives you the main metrics, but also it gives you the chart, the line chart of your P&L as a broker, like by minute. So if you see that there is a sharp move up or down, you can definitely start going and checking what happened. Let's say you see this drop here in the morning, like 5 o'clock. So you may actually have some gold traders that are trading gold session from 4:35. This is their favorite timing. So maybe they started opening some positions, and actually I find it really informative as a dealer. All right, please, Alex, move on.
Yeah. So yes, I totally agree with your point that when you have something graphical which you can just look with your eyes and make any conclusion, I think it's the best way if you need to operate large amounts of information and do it really quick. Let's move to Dealio. This is a Dealio Risk Insider, which shows you your exposure in A and B book. You can customize these tables. You can see the exposure for any single pair, or you can also group them by type of securities clients are trading, for example. Also, you can modify these tables in such a way, for example, you took the asset and put it here, and now everything is grouped by the asset. You can do it another way and do this. You will see clearly categorization of what kind of symbols are you exposed. Also, this is not all. They have a dashboard where you can see current session information, floating, closed P&Ls among books, and you can also see here in more understandable way your exposure. You can see even the current floating P&L for each symbol which is exposed, and you can see the clients who doing the best in these trading sessions, and also you can track what symbols bring you losses, what symbols bring losses to your clients. And again, there is a useful graphical tool where you can see the dynamics of trade flow, how much trades are opened and how much trades are closed in any particular moment. This could also be maybe the
A
source
good
of
indicator.
of some ideas of what is actually going on. I find this way of reflecting the information very useful. Also, there are more specified tabs in this menu. You can see more information about profitable losing accounts, their daily P&L and stuff. You can see the same by symbols, and also a bit more detailed information about exposure, which even includes current total swaps for the symbol and commissions which clients have paid for them. And if you don't have questions, I can move forward to AIBI.
I don't.
Okay, let's see this tool. It uses two ways to show the information to the dealer. Some tables are based on Metabase and some are based on Power BI. So we can see letters and E here. So if you prefer the way Metabase reflects the information, you can choose this. It's, from my opinion, it's very intuitive and beautiful. But if we go, for example, to Power BI section, it loads a bit longer. To be honest, previously it worked faster. Maybe something is going on right now. So here you can see almost identical information, but it is shown is in a bit different way. You can see your exposure by pair, asset, by side. Also here you can find all information about current losing profitable symbols, about accounts which are most exposed, and you can check any single client what is going on in his account. And also, if I can show you actually Metabase way, because it's more customizable, and you can even filter the information by countries, by servers, and the groups. And of course, you can also go deeper and explore right here, right in this tool. And this is good because, as we know, multiple platforms, multiple ways of getting information usually lead to delays, to human errors, and these things. So it's good to get information from one place about everything. So I believe this is all we can show from the current version.
Actually, surprisingly, all of them are quite okay with them, and I would say that BrokerPilot is a bit better for me, like for my taste, because at least because of that line. Retrospective line chart. I don't know if other tools also have this daily session but this for me is a killer feature. But actually, I like the dashboard of every platform.
They definitely use their own way to reflect the data, but I think all these ways are pretty good, and you can find something useful for you personally in each of them.
Yeah, I really liked personally the fact that AIBI has both Power BI and Metabase to show essentially the same data. So
agree.
It's a real nice combination, and we don't see it, especially now, a lot of times.
Yeah.
I think, BrokerPilot, only the fact that they have this for the current P&L session, it's very useful because, especially by opening it, you can see in which timestamp and time frame you had some losses or gain. So as a dealer, you can dig deeper much faster in that. Whereas if you have a number, you have to look more into it, to be honest. So I really liked BrokerPilot for these reasons.
And also, in addition to that, I believe that if you have at least this screen open in front of you every time, all the time, it's much less chances that you will miss the problem rather than just one number, because one number is kind of the change of a number of one digit is less
exactly
and visible rather than the line that is dropping as hell, let's say. So I believe that even if you guys have just one dealer on the shift and he is not aware of what's going on, if you give him this line,
miss it.
Yeah, like either
Well,
Yeah,
we are
it
stupid.
minimizes the risk of human error, basically.
Yeah. It's like of missing something important,
Yeah.
especially in the night shift when the guys are half asleep.
Yeah, but night shift is when the things happen, though.
Yeah, exactly.
Night shifts,
Exactly.
yeah.
All right. I like the first one. Let's move on. Who is taking the second criteria?
No, maybe let me continue on this if you are
Let's do it.
okay. Let's do it in the same order. Let's start from the BrokerPilot and see what does it offer in terms of catching some special types of traders and tracking what happens in a client's trading flow.
Client profiling,
BrokerPilot,
yeah.
yes, BrokerPilot has some alerts which could be customized in a very deep level. For example, they have a risk management section and the anti-fraud system, which allows you to make some alerts for scalping traders. For example, you can set different rules for each server, and let's see what they offer. You can customize it by the sensitivity of this tool, how much trades should happen with these parameters to this trigger get activated, how often these trades should be, how much profit they should bring to the client, and also, of course, each of these rules can be defined for any single group of clients, and this makes your approach very individual. Also, you can even track how this trade was performed, what is the source of this trade, was it done via API or mobile phone, and etc. Also, there are a lot of other...
One question here, Alexei.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting you. One question. Scalper HFT, is it only taking into consideration the time of opening and closing, or it takes a little bit more than that?
Sorry, my connection was not great while your question.
Yeah, the question is like if we speak about scalper HFT, so the system will catch only the trades which are open and closed within, for example, 10 seconds that you put there, right? It's not going to catch me, for example, the deal. For example, there is a client who open a quick deal, then instead of closing this deal, he's opening the reversal position and he closes both in 2 hours, for example. I believe it will not catch.
I may be mistaken,
Okay.
but it seems that your point is correct. I didn't find such functionality still. Probably they are going to add this
Guys,
our podcast.
guys from BrokerPilot, if you have this functionality, please let us know. For me, I believe that if you guys have scalpers kind of monitoring, you should not only base on opening and closing of the position, but also of the real situation, what's happening there. Because instead of closing, he may just open the reversal trade, or instead of opening the trade, he may close the hedge trades as well when the market, let's say, is moving. So yeah, but we have this latency arbitrage actually below. Maybe this one will answer the question.
Let me continue. There are also some other rules that can be set as triggers. For example, you can not only watch if some clients make high frequency trades, but this allows also to catch other types of abusive behavior. For example, you can spot here the suspicious large volumes of trades, large volumes in account. We can set these triggers to, for example, to activate when the client reaches some predefined profit compared to his deposit.
Just in order to summarize, sorry, Alex, basically here you can create different rules based on which you may get your alerts, right?
Yes, and it's not only here. Also, they have other sections which allow you to set even more rules, even more triggers. So you can, for example, detect certain activities on a specified account. You can choose what activity you are interested in and just set the rule. You can even try to catch clients who are trading to generate affiliate commissions without any like economical reason of their trades besides of generating these commissions. So this is really customizable place where you can set almost everything.
Okay.
You can even set alerts for coincidence of IPs and CIDs among different accounts.
Okay, this is nice. I like this one.
Yeah,
IP, CID, stop out abusers.
yeah, I think if you said all this in a proper way, you are covered really in a nice way.
The only question is what we discussed before is like kind of markouts. Do we have markouts here? Not sure.
Markouts, and no, I didn't find anything about it. I
Alright.
think no.
All right. Okay, looks good. Still looks good. We need to clarify the markouts question, but
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
This is a nice tool to have.
all right.
Let's move to Dealio and what they offer. They have a trade watcher, which shows you different alerts like cards. For example, and they are categorized. So you can see that the last alert about volume and lots in B book was this one. Near it, you can see another kind of alert, and all of them are stored in one place, and you can anytime, of course, you can hide it, you can mark it as red, you can delete it, but it allows you to have the whole alerts picture in one place, and also you can see the history of profitable users, which is divided into a separate tab, because this is a quite important information, and yeah, you can dive in the history and investigate more. Actually, it also has the tools which allow you to catch coincidence between IPs and CIDs of different clients. This is also can be set up. The alerts are set in this way. You choose the type. You can see that pretty much types in the list. And after that, you define to who this alert will be applied and what's the sensitivity of it and the other settings. How long to show this? Should the system reply this alert again and such stuff. So in my opinion, Dealio also have pretty advanced settings for the user.
Okay. The only question though is we didn't see this specific screen from BrokerPilot, but this cardboard layout looks a little bit, how to say,
Too overwhelming.
yeah.
Yeah, I was
So
going
many
to say
things.
that I prefer the visualization on BrokerPilot, but from what I can see, at least they seem that they have more, I don't know, functionalities unlocked for us now.
Mm-hmm. All
Yeah,
right. Anyway, this is
agree.
kind of matter of taste. What I
Is this the
mentioned.
default? Like, is this the default dashboard? Yeah, we didn't make any changes. Like, this is how when you open like Dealio, uh, Trade Watcher, or this is how it loads. Like, we didn't do any customization.
Yeah, it's like out of the box, just ready set up, and of course, I think you can gain more with it
Yeah, of course.
if you put some time, some efforts. Yeah. So let's move to AIBI.
Mm-hmm.
As it comes from its name, it uses AI to monitor the situation, to predict the client's behavior, and I find this part really unique and interesting. And let's move to AI winners. This page shows us not only just the statistics of any single trader and how he is performing. It also analyzes the client from the beginning. It begin to profile it just from the first trades. And I heard that even first 10 trades is enough for this AI to make probably a good prediction of how this client will perform on a long-term distance. And it shows you the basis in very clear manner. You can see the alert, and it literally says that this client all good. Or for example, if we sort, you see that the clients which have big probability to be a winner, they have book alert because the system might recommend you to choose the book for this client, change the book, sorry. Of course, you can customize this. You can even choose what winning percent is interesting for you. You can catch really, really good performing accounts, or you can expand your frames and try to analyze more clients. What else?
Sounds interesting.
Yeah, it's really
I
interesting.
really like this. Yeah, I really like this. But my question is like, so if it counts like the first 10 trades to give us a prediction. So as a dealer, at least, from one hand, I cannot wait for someone to make 10 trades for me to realize if this trader is going to be a risk, because especially if he has a lot of equity, then it can do a lot
Yeah.
of damage within these 10 trades.
Yeah,
Like,
I agree. I totally agree with you. I think that AI should not only in the future, AI should not only track the single trade or the series of trades. It should analyze the bigger picture of the
yeah.
client, of other things which could be not less important.
Like, yeah, the idea is correct. Like if as a suggestion, let's say, like if it was like a scoring system or something where it would take into consideration, first of all, the equity that the client has, and second of all, like a ranking system where it will categorize 1, 3, 6, and then 10 trades. So you have like a scoring system. If within these 3 trades, all of them are profitable, yeah, okay, in theory it's 100%, but 3 trades are not enough for as your data sample. So you need more, of course, but it's not the same. If I have a client with 200 balance and 3 out of 3 winning straight, is not more dangerous, let's say, on my risk profitability of my client than someone that has 10K and has 1 out of the 3 winning trades. So
the Lefteris is not checking only the P&L. This system is checking also some other parameters inside. It's not related only. Client can close the first 10 trades in profit and still be a loser because the strategy behind is not a sustainable strategy. So don't consider this one based only on the close P&L.
Yeah, that's important. And also, let me continue.
Before you go, Alex, before you go to the next screen, my take here is actually I really like the idea, and it's kind of kudos to AIBI team just to bring this guy to this specific kind of scoring here. But my point, I agree with the guys that actually 10 trades is kind of limited because actually maybe he did first 10 trades and then he made another 1,000 of trades. So I feel that it should be updated and basically with the new data. I don't know if it's done like that. Definitely, AIBI team will let us know, and we will make an adjustment. But in general, I believe bravo for bringing this in. But what we need to see yet is the logic behind, which is sometimes hard to understand because it's AI. And the second point is the how often the data is being refreshed.
Yes.
That's it from my side.
Yes, makes sense. And also, if we talk about clients' behavior, they have unclear abuse. And here you can see another type of suspicious accounts. As I understand from my side, they are picked only on the basis of suspiciously high profitability of their trades. I mean, the percentage of winning trades among all client trades. So, for example, of course, if you see that the client, for example, made 24 trades and they all are profitable, it's worth to analyze it much deeper. For example, you can see that these clients made even more than 7,000 trades with amazing winning ratio of 97%. So of course, this is enough to take a deeper look on this client.
But without this page, you will never realize it.
Yeah, there is no
yeah.
such metric usually.
Interesting. Agree.
So yes, probably this tool might have much more inside it, but in our version, this is what I found useful related to client behavior profiling.
Okay, let's define the winner, guys.
I want to add something about them. They have also the markout.
Yes, they have. So, do you want to review it?
I don't remember where it was.
It is profit X seconds.
Sorry, I'm blind. I'm not wearing the glasses and everything is complicated.
Samara, do you want to continue with it or?
Please continue because I cannot see in any
Okay,
case.
okay, I got it. Yeah, they have also very interesting tool which actually tracks the performance of the trades within one client account, and it tracks it in a very unusual, let's say, way. It checks how fast the client trades became profitable, because of course, if the client makes one single trade and it became profitable in 5 seconds, this tells us almost nothing. But if we have some kind of trading history and this pattern is obvious, and you see that the faster client gets profit, the more suspicious his trading is. So this is a good tool to catch latency abusers and this kind of traders. And you can even see in dynamics how hard probably the latency could be. For example, if you see that this client is usually winning within 1 second, this is much more worrying than see that this client is winning within 1 minute. So if you see that a lot of trades generate a lot of profit in seconds, this is a red flag.
Yeah.
You should immediately check what's going on, and probably not going on with this client. Maybe you have some more serious problems from the execution side. So this is
Agree.
insightful.
Absolutely agree. Good point.
Yeah, thank you, Mauro,
Markouts.
for reminding me this good tool.
Important. Other tools, do they have markout features? Do we know about
No,
that?
I think no. I
Okay.
saw it first time, this.
But anyway, guys, who will be watching, BrokerPilot, Dealio, let us know and we will adjust on the post-production. So what else, guys? First, let's discuss who is the winner in this category. Give me your opinions.
From
Alexei, you will be first.
Yeah, from my side, I don't see a clear winner here, but I like the approach which is used by Dealio and AIBI.
Let's go with criteria number 3, which is dashboards and customization of the dashboards. Mauro, if you have anything, not if you have, we know that you have anything to say, so please feel free.
I came prepared. Now, this is super important for the dealers to be able to customize their own dashboard, because not everybody need to see the same things or work in the same way. So how you see your dashboard is how you can work, because we set priorities differently from other people. So be able to customize completely from A to Z your dashboard is a key for the success of the dealer, because each workspace, each person work completely in different way. So let's start from BrokerPilot. Now, BrokerPilot is quite nice. They have each kind of not only dashboard, but report that you can customize, and you can create your own private vision of what you want to see, what you want to spot. Now, just for the sake of the podcast, I create some simple dashboard just to see what we can see, what we can customize. So I create one analytic dashboard just to show some parameters that represent the situation of the order book for the LP. Now, we are connected with a demo account, so there is no real LP, but it gives us a clear picture of what's going on in the LP, which order are going, etc., etc. Now, all the dashboard you can save how you prefer, and you name how you want, and according to what you want to see, here I create another dashboard just to create some benchmark to understand which is the P&L in a book, in the book, etc., etc. That is give me the picture, how is going the company in real time and weekly and monthly. So all in one, I have a picture of what's going on. Now, I repeat, this is just a demo, so numbers are not accurate because in order to have full picture, we need to do the full integration. Now, in all the other session, we can create...
sorry, can you please go back just for me to understand? So the previous dashboard you created by yourself?
Yeah, all the dashboard you can create by yourself. You can create your own dashboard. You can select what you want to display in your dashboard. Once you select, you just drag where you want your tool.
This is nice. What kind of options do we have here, just, for the sake of clarity? What I can add here?
Now, we have plenty of widgets that are already predefined, and after you can add additional filter inside. So you have all predefined widget that they give you some information. There is a small description of what they are. And after, you can additionally filter the widget according with your needs. So you can add group according with what the widget display. So you can add groups, you can remove groups. Some widgets, they have more functionality than others. So you can fully customize whatever you need. And this one is for the dashboard, for the report, live report. You can create your own page with whatever you want to see. So whatever you want, you can do it, you can save it, and this is your interface. And you can do for everything the same.
Okay, looks interesting.
Now, Dealio. Dealio, we have repeat the demo version. We know because the presentation and everything that you can customize and you can drag and move all the box. Here in this demo version, we cannot. Now, it's based on Metabase, so like everything in Metabase, you can filter, you can do a lot of things, and you can customize your report, your GUI, and you can see whatever you want to see. Also in Risk Insider, we can have only in this configuration 2 pages, but you can add additional and you can customize how you prefer. Now, one thing I don't like about Dealio is that every time the dashboard refresh, it brings me back to all in one page. This part is something that is sometimes a little bit annoying when you are focused and checking something, because you are missing the concentration, because you are just jumping back to all in one page. I want to wait 2 minutes to see when you jump.
No. Okay. I trust and I feel the pain you were mentioning now.
Now, regarding AIBI is, again, in the presentation, they show us that and the full capability, you can move and you can create your own tables. And again, based on Metabase, you can create all your own filter, you can create whatever you want. Something pretty nice is that once
This is Power BI though, I believe, this specific one.
this one is Power BI, but it's based, you have Metabase, you have Power BI, so the filtering logic, let's say, are more or less the same. Something super nice is that once you set up what you want and the filter that you want, you can click, create your unique URL, you can share with your own team, and everybody can work with the same interface that you create for yourself.
Yeah, it's a good stuff.
Now, they are all 3 pretty nice, pretty insightful, but if I have to choose, I would prefer BrokerPilot because give me much more room to customize my own view and all the kind of report.
Okay, wouldn't disagree with you here. Looks like BrokerPilot is just a bit more robust, I would say. I don't know. But to be honest, the customization, I believe it's there for every tool, right?
Absolutely.
It's just BrokerPilot looks to be a bit more complete, I would say.
It's a matter of taste. As you said, I would prefer BrokerPilot because it's much more complete. But for a normal user, for a junior dealer, usually they don't go so deep. They don't really customize everything. So even being able to filter and just create some simple task according with the needs of the broker and the team is fair enough.
Absolutely. I believe that actually majority of the use cases of the brokers actually is working with the standard dashboards that are already there from the box. And basically, yeah, like what we're speaking about, customization is for a bit more sophisticated cases like ours or bigger, let's say, companies.
For demanding people.
Okay, I believe it's clear. You guys, Alexei, Lefteri, you have anything to add here? to comment, to disagree?
Roman,
No,
speak, Lefterik.
So I was going to say that basically it's up to preference. It was what Mauro mentioned already. I see that BrokerPilot seems to be more robust, as you mentioned, Roman. But I really like the fact that you can basically create your dashboard on AIBI and then share the link, and so everybody can use the filters that you use. So I found it very clever, this feature specifically. So yeah, I'm between these two, to be honest. But I see why BrokerPilot is considered as the better alternative, like us, out of the three.
So for the sake of clarity, everybody have more or less the same for everything.
And also, guys, as far as I remember, Leo had the chance, not had the possibility to write your own queries, actually, with SQL, I believe, or something. Am I right? Or
For the reporting.
for the reporting, you could build your own reports, not just as a constructor here, but with your SQL.
Yeah, absolutely. This one we will arrive now with the historical report.
Okay.
We have this part there.
But my point here is still for these dashboards with BrokerPilot and with AIBI. Can we still be writing the queries, or we can be just using the constructor of the blocks, let's say?
Not really,
Okay.
as far as I know.
But if you have this kind of flexibility, it's very nice, actually. Yeah.
I believe, though, if you are based on Metabase, like for example AIBI and also BrokerPilot, they are supposed to have, but I assume that. I'm not sure though. But for Dealio, I know for sure that you can write your own queries and create your own, let's say, screens, dashboards, and stuff. Anyway, I think we are covered pretty much similar functionality with minor taste differences, but I think we are good.
You see what they just said?
Yeah. All right. Yes, this is kind of not very user friendly, but anyway, I think we are good.
Absolutely. This is just minor, let's say, that when you are focused, it make your life a little bit more complicated, especially when you're in a rush.
So, moving to the next one, history analysis.
Now, history analysis. Let's start from BrokerPilot. Now, BrokerPilot, they have a lot of live report that you can customize and give you the picture of what's going on. But when you want to go deeper to historical data, now we don't have access, but we have an amazing detailed documentation about it. So they have plenty of report that are highlighting a lot of aspects of the trading. Now, we will not be able to run those reports to test deeply. And this podcast, we are not going to do it because there are 1,000 different parameters that we should check. So just for the sake of the communication, they have a lot of report built in Metabase with a basic dashboard predefined, and after you have predefined report and you can build your own report. Now, Dealio is a little bit more advanced in my opinion in terms of reporting because by default has really a lot of different kind of report based on 1,000 different parameters. Maybe 1,000 is too much. 100
maybe
parameters.
900.
Okay. 100 parameters. And it's super flexible here because already integrated, you have a part that you can build your own report based on the matrix that you want to have. So you can create everything you want, quite simple, not complicated. Reporting wise for the historical data, it's pretty nice what the freedom that Dealio is giving you.
All right.
Now, regarding AIBI, I'm pretty confident they can have this kind of report. Now, for the interface they provide and for the access they provide to us, we cannot generate real historical report. The only things we can generate is report that is show me the trades, so I can see what happened in the trade, but I cannot generate dedicated report for what they provide to us. So I'm pretty confident because they're based in Power BI and Metabase that they can generate if we do the full integration, but we don't have access. Now, for what I saw, Dealio, in my opinion, is the winner for this one. AIBI because we have lack of information, and I really like on Dealio that you can build your own report, and if you are geek enough to dig on it, you can customize all your kind of report and get exactly what you want whenever you want. And this one I think is a big plus for the historical data.
All right. In fact, I believe that is more or less like, as we said, like we are providing our personal feeling based on the demos that we have, right? But I assume that just because all of them They are based on Metabase, and AIBI is based on Power BI in addition to that. I'm pretty sure that they have pretty much the same functionality of historical reporting and stuff, right?
For sure, the difference in this moment that I evaluate is the quantity of the report that are already predefined.
Yeah, already made. Yeah.
Because this one, not everybody are able to dig and create their own things.
Yeah. They don't know what they need, actually.
Most of the people, they don't know what they need, but also it's time consuming to create something because if you don't have the deep knowledge, sometimes to understand data, how to aggregate, you waste time, you spend hours. And if you have already a lot of reports that already give you even just a piece of the cake, after you can download, or after you can build, when you understand the logic, you can build your own report to aggregate all together. And this one in Dealio appear immediately, even from the demo. So I really enjoy this part.
You're right.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with Mauro also. I totally get this point because when you start, especially as junior dealer, you don't have that knowledge, so you have to get familiar. So it's like having training wheels on your bicycle. So having already these reports given to you by default is very familiar. It's very good to familiarize yourself with. But I also liked BrokerPilot in that perspective that they gave like a manual explaining each dashboard, what it shows. So I believe in terms of training, at least, when you're training someone as a junior dealer, you can give him that so he can go through all the reports and have some like writing documentation to also be able to see. So I really also like BrokerPilot, like manual idea, let's say.
To be honest, all they have documentation. It's not only BrokerPilot.
Okay, so they all have like explaining each dashboard what it shows, or
Absolutely.
okay, so that's a good thing then. That's a plus for everyone if it does.
It is mandatory because when you get a new system, if you don't have documentation, you don't know where to navigate.
To be honest, when I was trying some platform, most of the documentation I was looking and finding was how to create the reports. So because now we are talking about already like created reports for you, like it explains simple things like, okay, close P&L dashboard shows this thing. Whereas when I was looking at, not in this platform, but in general, it was giving me how to write the query and how to create my own dashboard. But if these three tools providing this documentation, then it's a very good thing for, especially for junior dealing departments, and also for like a company that wants to train them. It's much easier for them.
Agreed. Let's move to the last criteria, which is some utility features, right?
Yeah, this is more related to something that dealer, let's say, don't really need, but if there is a big plus. Now, Dealio and AIBI are amazing platform, super useful, super insightful, but they just read the information without taking any live action. BrokerPilot, and I'm not saying that is something bad, is for what they are made for. So to provide information to the dealer in order to take action. BrokerPilot has some additional functionality that are pretty nice. Take live action according with the parameter that you preset. So they have here in automatic control. You have three things that you can change actively, automatically, like the leverage. So I can control according with what's going on in the market, the leverage. So there is high volatility, there is a big volume, there is whatever. I can preset, or a particular group of traders that I don't want that they go full leverage. I want to reduce the leverage because are too aggressive. I don't want them. Also to protect them for overexpose. So because the leverage we don't have to see as a negative thing. Sometimes it's positive. Higher leverage require more margin. More margin means that you protect more capital from the stop out.
Higher leverage or lower?
Lower leverage. Sorry. Higher margin.
Just, to make sure.
No, absolutely, sir. So here I can control, I can set all the parameters, and additionally, also, this is quite important. A lot of brokers are struggling with set the leverage according with the deposit. Because manually, every time you need to go according with the deposit, you receive the notification. Here I can set a threshold, and according with this one, I change my leverage.
But threshold of what here specifically?
Of the deposit, for example.
The deposit. Like, okay, just to touch the subject of leverage and reducing or increasing it based on specific criteria. In my opinion, the best idea so far is floating leverage based on the net open position. And actually, I know that there are a lot of brokers still doing the leverage adjustments based on the equity or the balance of the client or even deposit, I don't know, whatever. But I believe that is kind of 19th century. And I believe that the best protection, in fact, is leverage based on the net open position. The higher position you open, the lower leverage will be for the, let's say, newly open position, or basically for the bigger volume, let's say. So this is just, to
exactly what you're speaking about is here, dynamic leverage. This one is working in this way. So you set the volume, and according with the volume that the client is opening, you reduce the leverage according with the threshold. Now, what I like here is that according with the business model of the broker, I can decide what to do. So I can have dynamic leverage, I can change by equity. So, you can play with it. I like the rules-based tools, actually. So as far as I understand, these are kind of rules that you set for to take actions. To take automatic actions. It's connected, the platform automatically will take action. So you don't have human error. Also, you can spot the swap-free account. 90% of the broker, they have an external plugin. Now with MetaTrader 5, you can create some rules, but imagine you have several MetaTrader servers. It's much easier to do it from one tool. Here you are doing from one part, one side. That's it. And you don't need to give access to the people to do anything because you have everything here. And you can restrict also. We'll make an example. There is some crazy news in the market. The market went wild. The pricing, you are receiving a wrong quote and everything. You can restrict for this symbol from trading. Or you spot a client that is abusing your feed or technical deficit and efficiency, and you can stop automatically. And it's quite pretty nice. Additionally, something that is super cool is that directly from the platform, I can set up dividend, swaps, and everything. And this is a big, big plus because especially with the dividend, we all know that is sort of pain in the ass to deal with it. So here you can create your own calendar, you set everything, you set your swap, you update your swap, and automatically update the platform. Now, we know how sensitive is those kind of information because when you change, for example, swaps, dividend, you need to have access to the admin or you have an external plugin that is connected. Now, in this way, you cut completely access to the admin from a junior dealer, to whoever is updating those daily information. Yeah, that's good stuff. I know that there are bridge providers that are facilitating this, but actually, if there are risk management tools that are also doing it, it's a plus. It's definitely a plus. Absolutely. But again, the bridge, I'm not checking the risk from the bridge. Yeah, exactly. Here, I have one place, something happened, I click here. I don't have to open something else. Yeah, there are bridges that are super efficient. They can provide you billion of different features to set up what you need, but you need to jump there. Meanwhile, you are checking the market from the risk. Absolutely. And also I'm not sure, but pretty much confident that in order to use this functionality with the bridges, you have to pass all your B-book through the bridge as well. So basically, I'm not sure though, but my point here is that almost nobody is sending B-book flow to the bridge just for the sake of money saving, let's say, regardless of the fact that it can give them the benefits, let's say, of this exercise. It's like they're saving 5K a month, let's say. But we personally saw the cases when they were like, okay, paying this 5K, but generating extra revenue of 100K, 150K quite easily based on the features of those bridges. All right. So anyway, I think we're good. We are covered in terms of kind of this usability stuff. I like this read and write combination of BrokerPilot. We have anything else, guys, to cover on this criteria, on this section? I don't think so. We analyze generally what they offer. just want to repeat again that thanks to BrokerPilot, Dealio, and the AIBI to provide us the demo. So we evaluate what we were able to see. We know they have other functionality that we were not able to test it, but for what we saw, this is our final result.
Sounds good. So we have touched the risk management tools on a high level basis. Let's now kind of revamp whatever we have to say on the subject, and specifically what makes the perfect risk management tool. Guys, let's exchange opinions on this.
And let's say just some key point. For me, the perfect risk management tool should be a tool that provide insightful information, easy to use, easy to customize, and provide deep analysis of historical data. This is what should be the top one, without going into too much details. But those are the key part that we must always have to have the perfect one. Additional, if we want to say the perfect is the one also that give you the possibility to take live action directly from the risk management tool. Even placing a trade, even deal with the reconciliation, a book, C-book. So this one will be the perfect one. The perfect tool is the one that you use only this one and you don't need to touch any other thing.
Agree, guys?
I believe it's subject to personal opinions as well. Like for me, at least, it's important to have a clean and intuitive user interface in general, like for the user. So like as a dealer, I don't want to spend 5 minutes going through the risk management tool trying to find what I'm looking for. Also, due to how AI is trending now, I would like to have some AI functionalities, or like in terms of technological advancements. As Mauro mentioned, some integration with your data infrastructure in general would be nice. Like, even with back office, if you're able to access back office from the risk management tool, be cool. So I believe these three pillars for me are very important.
Thanks, Leftery. Alexei, what about you?
Yeah. Of course, I agree with you guys. And I think that the risk management tool should be, at first point, it should be live, accurate, and clear. So the dealer should be able to, spend 1-2 seconds, and he already should have the picture, brief picture, of course, not very deep, to understand what is generally going on in the system. And this tool should also allow him to go deeper if he has some thoughts about that something might go wrong. And if this risk management tool also have ability to affect the client trading, the client settings, like leverage and all this stuff. And you can do it instantly without interacting with other tools or software. This will be perfect. And as we touched the topic of AI, I think that this is also the good field for development, the future development, because I'm sure that the perfect risk management tool soon will have a lot of AI functions built in.
Yeah, and they already have actually several of those. Like out of what we have today is only one,
including,
but we have other tools that are actively using. I haven't seen it actually, to be honest, in action, but people are mentioning that it's already being utilized. I would add here, guys, in addition to what you have said, the perfect risk management tool should be run by a dealer that knows what he wants to see, what he wants to actually, that he knows what he's doing. This is I believe, problem number one. So the second point is, and I'm not sure if we have those things in the tools that we have observed today, but the equity curve, let's say, of the client, all history equity. And of course, for me, is not enough to have daily snapshot of the equity like we normally have. For me, is absolutely not enough. I want to see the equity as frequent as possible, preferably maybe 1 minute, to be able to dig down to a minute. This is point number one. Point number two is I would like to see a bit more on the benchmarking side in terms of kind of expected revenue and categorization of the clients to the retail and non-retail behavior. So, and I would like it to be very straightforward and clear. I see the tools are actually doing it, but I haven't seen much, how to say, clarity on that subject. I see that they are doing it, but I don't see like, that it's as easy as 1 to 3. So this point for me is kind of missing yet. But in general, I believe we are covered fully here. So the last question I would like to raise for you guys is AI. Is it a killer of dealers' profession, or it's a kind of benefit for us? Let's engage in this one.
I mean, as a dealer, of course, especially if you are not into that, you are kind of scared hearing about all of these things that AI can do nowadays. We already see a lot of jobs being affected by it nowadays. It's only been like 4 or 5 years, I believe, of AI. So imagine in the next 5 years how much more advanced AI will be in general. But as a dealer, like our jobs is much more related to our human nature. We have to take in consideration many factors that a bot cannot, at least for now, and hopefully never. But like feelings, because a lot of traders are trading based on their feeling and other factors like microeconomics and even like when you have some wars, it all depends on that. And I don't believe AI can replace this, at least for now. So I believe dealers in a way will be affected by it, but not in terms that they are going to lose their job, in terms that AI will reduce the workload of dealers in the future. And even now, as you said, the risk management tools already are using it. So the workload is going to be significantly reduced. So at the end, I believe dealers that knows how to use AI correctly will benefit. As a result, the company that employs these dealers will also be benefit and be much more efficient. So maybe like they will need to lay off some kind of people. But my suggestion like to fellow dealers is to be not scared about AI and try to be more engaged with it, try to learn how to use it and be more relevant, like grow your skills with that. Because if you know how to use it, then you are not scared about anything, I believe.
Agree. Please, Alexei, if you want to add something.
Yeah, I agree with Eleftherios about this. I think that AI will not replace dealer. It will change the workflow of a dealer, probably because of having much more power to work with. The dealer will be able to expand his maybe abilities or duties, and maybe the dealers will have such kind of responsibilities which they don't currently have. Probably AI will not replace it, but maybe it will add something else to the dealer's job, and it will not look like today's job in 2, 3, 5 years, etc. So I believe this is a good tool which will allow us to do more, to do it more efficient, and maybe to have even something which we don't have now, and we don't imagine how it will work. So it's like a magic tool which will show us more in the future, and we cannot predict now how it will develop. But my point of view that there is no threat of replacing the dealer with AI in, let's say, in near 5 years at least. I believe this.
I believe not only 5 years, but any years in general, like in the nearest future. What I would just add here is...
I can add something
please.
About the AI. Now, what I really think AI will do, it will change completely the way to monitor, not the way to trade, because dealers are not able to see immediately some inefficiency of the platform that AI will be able. So all the monitoring pretty soon will change completely. But as we were discussing before, the skills, the instinct of the dealer, you cannot replace with the robot. Robot is 1-0. And the age of Skynet is not here yet. So we still have a job for a while.
Absolutely. What I think, just my 5 cents to this speculation here, is basically, I believe that the AI is kind of assistant that will help you to process big data with less time, or help you build the reports that would take you, let's say, maybe 1 hour to build it on your own in the tools that we have actually discovered today. It will give you like within, I don't know, 20 seconds, let's say, and by itself. And then you will do with him some couple of iterations, and it will take you 5 minutes instead of 1.5 hours, let's say, of doing this stuff. So this is what I believe, and why I think that it will never change human, just in terms of this job and in terms of foreseen future, is just because nobody could automate something that works with people and with like living creatures, like people, market, countries and stuff, because like there are so many variables and they are so close to randomity, let's say, and it's just very hard to train some algorithm to perform based on the past to perform in future, just because it has to do with it's like something in the box has to do with the things outside of the box.
All the variables that are going on that specific real time. So I would like to add two things basically, like in the one that you said now, is because it has to do with historical data and real time data. So it's like two exponential thing going on, and maybe also three, because it also needs to predict the future. So you have 3 dimensions basically. Like essentially you have past, current, and future. So no one can predict the future like 100% for 100%, but you can gain an understanding of where things may go. So if you manage to create this bot like that predicts actually with a very nice success rate the future, then it will not be used to replace the dealers. It will be used in other ways. So yeah, this is what I wanted to say.
And it will not work long because, like as we said, like
changes.
Exactly, like all the trading strategies that used to be there on the market, maybe except buy and hold, buy the dips and hold it until you die. Exactly. Only this kind of strategy is kind of sustainable. But in general, if you try to find kind of system inside of chaos, your system is kind of limited in terms of vitality, let's say.
But also cannot predict the unpredictable, because it's something you teach the machine how to work, and if something unpredictable happen, this one is just the experience and the instinct of the person that can fix. A robot that is based on 1-0 code cannot take a decision based on something that is unexpected, doesn't know what to do.
Not even that. Like imagine like how AI is working is by taking all the prompts that they used to during training, and based on that creates an understanding. But how about if an event happened that never happened before? And so it's the first time for everybody. Like imagine going through something for the first time, and you as a human have to face it, and also AI has to face it. So who you gonna trust more in this kind of situation? Are you going to trust you that you have critical thinking and how to overcome this, or an AI which is training conditions that was nowhere near it? Like imagine a meteor like hitting a country or something.
Think about things that mathematics cannot happen, like negative oil during COVID. Was no one ever predict that the price can go negative? It's against the logic of the market, and it happened. And now you need to take action. The AI doesn't know what to do. It's something that the math is not able to predict.
Exactly.
The black swan. What you will do?
It's like, in my mind, it comes like a back-tested robot for MetaTrader, for example. You can see that it performed very good in conditions where he was trained. But when the future comes, no one knows what will happen in the next second.
Exactly. When the reality comes, it brings new reality rather than the history. All right.
So essentially, it's 2 ways that you can use it. It's the reporting, that this is what I believe will be used more in the coming years. As you said, me being able to have an assistant like a chat, let's say, in the platform that I'm going to ask it, create me a report comparing the top 10 clients of 2024 for this period of time with the 2025 for the same period of time again. And I eliminated basically me needing to download 2 files and creating one. So minimizing the workload basically. But on the other hand, it can be used to Yeah, but I don't trust like AI nowadays, at least with data. We see that, especially interpreting data, AI is being a little behind now, at least when I try to use it for this point. So that's why was a study that it tried to find, they used an AI model in different finance sectors, not only related to trade and trading environment, but for the trading and the market, they found out that AI was able to find like 80% of abnormal activity, like increased profitability, unusual trade patterns, and activity spikes that basically triggered an alarm for the AI and flagged these clients for abusive behavior, let's say. And then the human dealers went and evaluated these alerts. And out of the 80% that AI provided, the dealers were able to determine that only 40% were actually something going on there. So there is a big gap there. Like if you give me 80% and then out of this 80, I only find 40% to be actionable, something else going on, there is a big gap. But as time passes, you can train it, and this is what they did. So after training this bot and this AI, so basically the dealer was giving feedback on the findings of the AI. So if AI was giving me a client and I was saying that, okay, this is correct, okay, this is not correct, and I was giving my feedback, and based on that, AI was trained more, and essentially was much better, not by a big margin, but in 6 months, they improved by 10% the accuracy, which is a lot. So we can see that this can happen in the future, not near, I believe. So that's why that's a nice thing that I found yesterday looking into the website about the researches about the finance, and also me coming with a science background and looking in many articles, the amount of and the lack of information that we have about AI in this sector is amazing. Like we don't know anything about, especially in the trading and how we can use it here. There are not enough studies about that, and there are not enough researches about that. So I believe whoever is going to take the risk and use AI, I'm sure many of them are developing it now and behind closed doors. But whoever manages to use it in very good way be like deal breaker in this industry.
Agree. And actually, in order to close the topic for today at least, I would give you my ideal scenario of AI being implemented in our industry. And we guys discussed it with you before, just it's for the fellow dealers there. I believe that the best case scenario and the most realistic and feasible is to have an AI being integrated within your databases, within your systems and stuff, and to serve as kind of assistant, as a junior, whatever dealer that will be, as we said before, will be able to gather all the data within the lightning speed, let's say, and provide you different kind of layouts, sorting data analysis and stuff, like to process it fast, to process it, like to give you different iterations of processing. And I believe this is the most realistic case. Like, for example, we already see that, for example, in fitness industry, we have Whoop fitness bracelet that actually has integrated AI. It has your context. It has all the metrics, how you train, how you sleep, how you recover and stuff, basically. And you don't need to get your data downloaded to ChatGPT. It's already there. It already has all your context. And actually, it can give you then some insights, some feedback, like, okay, today you had bad sleep. So basically, your parameters are not as good. So take a moderate strain today. And this is, I believe, the most...
Earlier, basically.
Yeah, or go to bed earlier and stuff. Don't train hard. And by the way, it came up to my mind that we actually, if somebody doesn't know, but we also have a technology wing in Yourfintech, and we have a platform that is called CipherTrade, and we have actually integrated this kind of assistant to the platform, which has your context, your trades. It has been trained in terms like of what is good, what is bad for the trader. And it actually can give you kind of assistance there, like, okay, look, today you are overshooting your losses, today you are overtaking the risk and stuff. Still a basic stuff, but it's kind of useful for the traders, so you don't need to get your historical data, trades, put it somewhere else. You have it there in the platform. As a trader, you can get a buddy that is always there with you and can give you some comments.
Give a different point of view, analyze with bare number. That's it. And it's super helpful to understand. To take live action, no. Because even this one analyze what you're doing, but cannot tell you by now.
Absolutely.
This one still need the instinct. There is
no way I believe it can give you a reliable signals what to do in general. But this is a kind of point of
exploiting the vulnerability of the system.
So like the delay that AI has now is in terms of trading is a lot. Like we're talking about seconds, and in trading millisecond matter. So you cannot use it for trading.
Yeah, agree. All right, let's rope it up. I think, guys, it has been quite intense. The format is kinda challenging. We have part of people in the studio, part of the team remotely. I hope that this will be kinda of use and of value for the fellow dealers. Let us know what you think about AI. If you agree, if you disagree with us, please feel free to reach out and to request any further subject to be covered in next episodes. Thank you very much, guys. Like, subscribe, share, and all the jazz. Thank you and goodbye.